New York State Fair, especially the State Police exhibit. My name is Sergeant Neil Case. I am the Underwater Recovery Team Division Diving Officer. Before we get started today, I want to thank you. Great crowd. You guys are the best crowd we've had here for the entire fair so far. All right, before we get started, I want to introduce you to the rest of my crew. Coming up behind the tape, first up is my training coordinator out of Albany, Trooper Josh Cross. All right, next up is the Troop D Assistant Senior Diver, Trooper Jared Hogan. Lastly up those stairs is the Troop D Senior Diver, Trooper Greg Eberl. All right, I'm going to introduce you to the host of your show, man of many talents. Let's put your hands together for Troop C, Senior Diver, Trooper Seth Little. All right, hello to you! How we doing today?
Good! Excellent, man. All right, so these guys are getting ready to go into the water, but there's one thing that you need to know. Today is the great Trooper Greg Eberl's birthday. So we need to sing him happy birthday. Can we do that? Yeah. Do we have the energy? Yeah. All right, I'll start you off here. Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
All right. So while these guys are getting ready to go into the water, I'm going to give you a brief history lesson of the New York State Police dive team. So, in 1932, we logged our first dive as a dive team. That means that we used hard helmets, we had a canvas suit, we had lead shoes, we had a lead belt, and altogether the equipment weighed well over 100 pounds, okay? But troopers did then what they still continue to do. They volunteered to go in the water. We had some fellas that were from the Navy that were retired. There was evidence in the water. They went in, they found what they needed to find, case closed. Dive team started. Now in 1943, there was a fellow by the name of Jacques Cousteau. Jacques Cousteau invented the aqualung. The aqualung is what we commonly refer to as scuba. Scuba stands for self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Now at the speed of Albany, in 1957, all right, New York State Police decided to adopt scuba as its preferred method of dive. We wanted to learn from the best, so in 1958, we sent representatives from the dive team down to the Navy Dive School in New Jersey. They went through it, they took their lessons, they took their teachings, they brought them back to the New York State Police, where we now have our very own novice dive school, which is anything but novice, okay? In order to get through this dive school, it's tough enough to become a trooper. It's a competitive position. After you become a trooper, you got to do 2 years on the road, and then you get to try out for the dive team. Now, we had 45 this last class that we had. Only 15 actually graduated, okay? So, if you try out for the dive team, chances are you're not going to make the dive team. So to get where these guys are, to get where Greg is, were you there when they went over to scuba, Greg? Yeah, okay. But to get where these guys are, it takes a lot of hard work, determination, courage. Let's give them a hand. All right, so are we ready to get into the water, sir?
Yeah, it looks like they're just about ready. Before we get those divers in the water, though, let's get the kids up front, nice and close to the tank.
Okay, kids, come up, stand. Well, don't stand, sit in front of the tank if you would like. It'll give you up close view of what is going on with the divers. You'll be able to see anything and everything.
Come on up.
Yeah.
Don't stoop. You want to come on
Over the rope, under the rope. Just don't trip on the rope. Or if you do, don't tell your parents. Okay?
All right. While these kids are getting in place here.
Yeah.
Nice, beautiful, hot day today.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Looks like the divers are about ready, but they're going to need a countdown first.
Okay. All right. Kids, just so you know, if you get close, you might get a little wet. Okay? So just don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying.
No crying.
All right, but I'm going to need a countdown. So can I get energy? All right. So when I say go, start from 3 and go down. So go. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right. Now, first thing that you will notice is as they get into the water, they do not rock it to the bottom like a rock. Okay, they do not rock it to the top like a balloon. They are what is called neutrally buoyant. And even though this looks simple, this actually takes time and practice to master. These guys have. Because they're neutrally buoyant, they're able to use their fins appropriately, which propel them through the water with ease. These fins are attached to their booties, which is part of the wetsuit. It keeps them comfortable when the water gets a little chilly. Now, you will see on their back the tank, and there is also, the tank is attached to the BC device, which is the buoyancy control device, all right, BCD. That BCD has little black bladders in there that will take air from the tank, that will fill up those bladders in order to go up. That makes them positively buoyant. You go up. In order to become negatively buoyant, you will dump air out, all right, by a dump valve. You'll pull a string, you'll see air go out, and they will go to the bottom. Now that tank holds 3,000 pounds compressed air, all right? Not oxygen, air like you're breathing, right? Mostly nitrogen with some oxygen and then some other stuff. So, that being said, with 3,000 PSI, you do not put your mouth over the top of it and just start breathing, okay? It'll hurt. So, we have a regulator. That regulator on the top regulates the 3,000 pounds of air down to about 145 pounds. It sends the air down the main line there to the second stage regulator, to the mouth, which provides them air on demand, just like breathing up on top of the water. The mask that they have provides a little layer of protection between their eyes and the water. It also does something else, because the mask is a little bit farther out, it actually magnifies things underwater, all right? So things seem 33% larger and 25% closer. If you paid attention to these guys as they were getting in, they're about 33% smaller than Greg Eberl up there, okay? Well, yeah, you guys win the little fellow awards. All right, so, in the tank, when they're looking at each other, they look big and bad, just like Greg himself, and they're pretty proud of themselves. And one thing that you need to know is divers are notoriously, they're territorial. They don't like other people diving in their water. Let's see what happens. Things might happen here to gear. Uh-oh, we got a mask that's ripped off. We have things happening, so what do? The fact is the number one thing that will hurt a diver is panic, okay? You never panic. If a mask comes off, all that needs to happen is you just put the mask back on. Well, how do you get the water out? You're going to create a little crack between the bottom seal of the mask and the top upper lip, and then you will blow air out of your nose. That air will go up, push the water out of the mask. You just push it back on nice and tight and continue on your way. By the time we graduate our novice dive school, we are anything but novice. We are advanced divers, which means we dive 5 atmospheres, which is 132 feet. And you might ask me, what is 132 feet?
What is 100?
I'm glad you asked. All right, so you see this tower here that those short guys where they're sprayed on abs, where they jump off of. All right, that is 60 feet tall. All right, so you add another tower on top of that, and then 12 more feet. That's how deep we go down in the water. Scary. All right. So when we're down that deep, things can happen to our equipment because the pressure is higher, and it affects things like regulators. So we're going to give a little example here of what we would do. So Jared's giving the sign, hey, my regulator's not working, my air, I don't have it. His buddy comes over, takes his main reg, puts it in his mouth. He has his safety second in his mouth. They will ascend the whole 132 feet at a nice ascent rate. But the number one thing as a diver you don't do is what? Panic. That's right, you never panic. So once they get up to the top, they'll decide if they can continue on with the dive. If they can, they will. Or if they need to abort the dive, they will abort the dive and come back later. Now, another reason, or something else that can happen to us, I should rather say, is that our gear can become stuck. The water that we are in does not look like that. It looks like this, all right? So if you are in a river where there happens to be some current, hi. So if you're in a river where there happens to be current, there might be tree branches, there might be shopping carts, there might be stop signs, there might be a rebar. For whatever reason, people like to throw these things in the river. But we have D-rings on our equipment. Those things can get caught easily, all right, on things that are protruding. So we have learned not to panic, all right? We don't panic. What we do is we simply just take off our gear. Honey, I don't want you to get jumped out there, okay? Who's your adult? Oh, there's your adult. Okay. So, we do not panic. What we simply do is we take our gear off. We've learned to do that. And in taking our gear off, what we do is if we can unstick it, we will. But if we can't, then we will take a breath, and then we will ascend to the top, all right? And in doing that, you need to make sure that you blow bubbles out of your mouth. And the reason that you blow bubbles out of your mouth is because when you're down at the bottom, even in a pool like this, the pressure is higher than it is on the top. So you're breathing compressed air. So as you go up, the air expands. And if you do not expel that air as you're going up, you will hurt your lung. You'll get a lung injury, so that's why. All right, so now, these guys, they're very competitive. All right, so we're gonna give them a countdown. All right, we got Jared Hogan. He's got the blue stripes on his legs. That's, I don't know, I guess that's race striping, real quick. Then we got Josh Cross over here. So, but we want to know, okay? Both these guys are experienced divers. Who you think's gonna win? All right, so I need to know by applause here. So we got Josh Cross over here. All right, and then we got Jared Hogan over here.
Is this the SEAL show?
It may be. And, all right, so when I say go, we need a countdown. Go! 3, 2, 1. All right, here they go. All right, getting gear on, getting regulators in mouths, getting straps. Oh! Josh Cross in record time. How is that possible? I'm gonna have to watch you next time, Josh. All right. So, because Jared Hogan lost, he's got to demonstrate this next thing that we're going to do. Another reason that we might take our gear off is to get small. And when I say that, I mean we do penetration dives. So we might be going into a boat, we might be going into a vehicle, we might be going into a cave that has an opening where we wouldn't be able to fit ourselves and our gear on our back and go through. So we would take our gear off, we would put it in front of us, and we would follow it through the small opening, which is what Trooper Hogan's going to do right now. This is what the divers did during the rescue of the soccer team over in Thailand. All right, this is how they got small. They put their gear in front of them, got through. Let's give Jared Hogan a hand. Good job, Jared.
Hey, Seth.
Yeah.
You know, because Josh won that last race, we should give him a chance to go through this time.
Yeah.
Gear on his back with that scooter in front of him.
With the scooter. Gear on the back with scooter, yeah. So you might have bit off a little more you can chew now there, Josh, all right? But he's a pretty smart fellow. Let's see what happens. All right, he is our training coordinator. This is a DPV, diver propulsion vehicle. It allows him to move through the water with ease. Let's see here. Here he goes, and oh!
Stop.
Yeah, that was embarrassing, Josh.
You should just stick to getting dressed underwater.
Yeah. So, wait, you got an idea? All right. Well, just don't embarrass us. That's all we ask. And there, oh, okay, all right. We'll give him a hand. Got a little couple of tips and moves there. All right, so the bread and butter of our team. We are URT. It stands for Underwater Recovery Team. Our motto is, if it's in there, meaning in water like this, we will find it. All right, we do not use our sense of sight. We use our sense of touch. And because of that, we have a mascot, the octopus. The octopus, if you've ever seen it move over the ocean floor, it hovers, but it touches everything as it moves. And that is what we have to do as divers when we are looking for small items, such as possibly ammunition, which we have looked for and found. So, we have in here a line search. This is a jack stay. All right, it has two heavy weights on either side that connects the line. You separate those weights, it adds tension on the line and makes it straight. The diver will put his hand on the line and one hand on the floor of, let's say, a riverbed or this pool, and he is diving and he's hovering and he is touching the ground, making sure that nothing gets past his touch.
Hey Seth,
Yes, sir.
before he gets started with that Jack Steve search, probably should throw some evidence in along with that training mask.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea to me. The training mask is taped off so that you cannot see anything. We use this mask in the novice school. Novice divers have to put this mask on. They have to complete an obstacle course following a line search and find every piece of evidence that we put in there before they can graduate. All right? This simulates low or no visibility. We have Jared showing us right now. There's the piece of evidence being thrown in. The revolver. Very nice, Greg. Old school. All right. So he goes. He moves the weight over just a little bit because he's looking for something small. If he was looking for something bigger, he could move it more if he had room. So he's coming, and he finds something. Let's give him a hand. It's in there. We'll find it. All right, so now we're going to need a volunteer from over here, Sarge, if you could pick somebody out of the audience over here.
All right, how about you? Where dreams begin. I like it. Come on up.
Dreams begin right here. All right, what's your name? Darcy. What adult do you belong to? I think I see one of them. Yeah? Well, we need another one of your adults to come down and help us out. So, whoever wants to come out and help, if one of you wants to video at the same time, it's up to you. So, Darcy, I need you to hold on to this line right here. You are my line tender, and your name is? Paul. Nice to meet you. Come on up here, Paul. Just a little bit farther. Okay, that's good. So Paul is representing a diver that possibly he either passed out, he still got air, because, you know, we want him to be safe. But he might have passed out, or he might have gotten stuck. We're two divers that arrive on scene, all right? So we want to do what is called a pendulum search. This pendulum search, it happens because it's fast. There's only two of us on scene. She's the line tender, I'm the diver. So, as a diver, I'm on this side of the line, she's got a hold of that one. I'm coming over here, and she sees that I'm running into a place where I can't dive anymore. She gives me two tugs. I give her two tugs back. I felt those, she felt mine. That means she knows that I know what she knows. You know what I mean? All right. So, I turn around, I come back, and I'm diving to another place where I can't dive. Two tugs, didn't even have to tell her. She's a natural. All right, go ahead and let go of the line just a little bit. I give her two tugs, she gives me a line, and then I come across, and I find, oh, hold on just a second, that was my fault. Yeah, so here I come, and I find Paul, right? All right, I find Paul. Let's give Darcy a hand. Good job, Darcy.
All right, Darcy, before you go too far, thank you for your help. All right.
All right. No, I told you if it's in there, we're going to find it. So, we have a four-wheeler that we found. How do we get it out? Well, we use the Big E from Troop D along with our surface supply air system. This surface supply air system allows us to provide constant air to the diver. It allows us to have communication, and it allows us also to send down an auxiliary line with air, which you will find out why we do that. So go ahead, Sergeant, know how it works.
Topside diver, comm check.
Diver topside, loud and clear.
Copy loud and clear. You can enter the water when you're ready.
Alright, going in.
All right, one of the things you'll notice is Greg is wearing a dry suit. That is actually his BC at the same time. It traps air in there. And he will hit a dump valve on his shoulder, which air will come out of, which will allow him to get to the bottom, and there he is. It's his birthday, give him a hand, come on. Wait, Greg, you still got stuff to do. Just because it's your birthday, you can't slack off. All right, here he goes. He's using his Superman move. He's over there.
Four-wheeler.
You did. That is correct. So how are you going to get that four-wheeler out?
Use this fancy lift badge.
See, he's very smart. He's another year older. He might not be as strong as he used to be. He's got a great upper body, but he's got chicken legs, you know what I'm saying? So, he puts a lift bag on there. That allows us to introduce buoyancy to this vehicle. He's going to ask for bubbles, which means we're going to send air down the auxiliary line.
Number topside, tell me bubbles.
Copy, sending bubbles.
Once he gets those bubbles, he's going to stick that line in the lift bag. It'll expand, and then you will see the four-wheeler start to rise. All right. And there he goes, and once the four-wheeler starts going up, diver gets out of the way. Good job, Greg. Let's give him a hand. Tremendous hang time. Birthday boy, successful again. All right, Sarge. What do you got?
Yeah, so I just want to take a moment to recognize these guys. We do have a great time here at the fair, and but the fact is that every single time that these guys go underwater, whether it's in training, to recover a drowning victim, or possibly find evidence to close out a case, they're putting their lives on the line. And if you could please all join me in thanking them for what they do every day.
All right.
Before you start,
Yes.
what do you guys think about that happy birthday song, huh? Pretty good?
Hey,
All right.
I'll do my best. All right, so before we let you leave, two things. Sarge, go ahead and take your hat off. All right, look at this head of hair. If you want hair like that, you gotta be born with it, okay? But if you want this shirt with this octopus, all right, it is for sale over at the NYSTP VA10. And there's other goods over there. And then there's other Trooper things over at the Trooper Foundation building over on the other corner. Support both of those places. Both of those places support us. We would appreciate that. The other thing is we have in the tank here the best poser in the New York State Police, and it's his birthday. So, make him feel special. Come get your picture taken with him. Have your kids get their picture taken with him. The more pictures, the more special he'll feel. All right, so we do have the canines. They're going to be coming up next, and that's something to look forward to. Other than that, enjoy your day at the Great New York State Fair. Thank you very much.